And welcome to episode 198 of the DayZ Podcast. We are live with Cobra. How you doing, buddy?
Very good, mate. How are you?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Marks, how you doing, mate?
Doing well now. Can't complain.
Awesome. But the man of the hour, this morning's guest, who was called out and rose to the occasion, Mr. JD FNC 24. JD for short, folks. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well. Thanks for having me,
mate. We had to get you back on because your first ever appearance on the show was a rather controversial one. Defending yourself and Dab and all that other crap. But during the show, you were called out on basically being a hypocrite for bagging other people out for not sharing stuff. And then some Helkiana, I think, said, "Well, what about your animations?" And you were like, "Yeah, okay, that's a fair point." And you put your money where your mouth is, and you have finished and uploaded the mod. And we looked at it last week, and bro, it's fucking awesome.
Thank you. It took like 5 months of true pain and true grinding, lots of all-nighters. It's just no one you can really talk to or ask to work on in Fusion animations like that for DayZ specifically. All the support out there is for Reforger.
It like King Alex just said in chat there, Cobra. I'm here purely for how sexy that LMG reload animation was. That Minimi or the Saw M249, whatever you call it, was a thing of beauty to me, Cobra.
Oh, beautiful, mate. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit more. Alex and his guns. What can you say? The man knows what he's doing with that.
He definitely does. And he's actually a fan of it. I think the Minimi's a piece of shit. But it's probably changed from the 20 years ago when I was using it. But the animation though was on point, even just down to the little details of the belt actually feeding. I didn't even notice that. Marks was the one who pointed that out, and I was like, shit, that's fucking cool. Now, Marks, you had a good look at it. You did a video on it.
I did.
Tell us what you found playing with it more.
It's great. Like you obviously, when a mod comes out and has maybe weapons, I think it was a couple of years ago. I don't remember the name of the mod, but there was a mod that did add that gun into the game, but it had no animations at all. I think it was using M4 ones or something, and it was terrible. And
it's pretty bad.
People always dreamed about having this gun in the game, but if not in a mod. And then JD comes out with it. He showcased it off ages ago when I posted on Twitter, and then he came out with it, and I made the video on it, and it done a lot better than I expected. Like, people were very, very hyped about it. People were saying, they should add this to the game. And yes, I kind of clickbaited my title by saying that, but it's really cool. It just, the animations are so clean. They work perfectly. Obviously, I was saying with the detail, the belt feeding into it, been able to add optics to it. I think I had an ACOG on mine. Just really, really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I can't take full 100% credit. Full transparency, those are the M249 animations. A bulk of it, about 90% of it, was already in the game files, actually. Legacy, pre 1.0 stuff. What I had to do is pull those in and basically make them work, not only with my own 3D model for the M249, but also make them work with the current bone structure for the player and everything else. Also, pulling the bolt off, or pulling the belt off when you're pulling the magazine out. I had to make that one. Really, that one had been a thorn in my side for years, not being able to animate it. So when I finally was able to, it was the first one I made. I couldn't stop.
Well, I was about to ask on that. I was about to say, how long is that in the making?
That animation, I think I started it in about late January, and then I had it in game working as you see it by about maybe mid-February. Multiple all-nighters. I mean, it was something, just 4 years of pent-up annoyance of not being able to animate that thing. It was really the main drive. And then, of course, after that, I was like, okay, what's next? It's going to be the RPG, which I'm pleased to announce that really just minutes before joining this the podcast, I got the RPG working. So that's going to
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good news.
animations for that, custom holding animations for it. So you'll be able to do that. And if you want to implement that into a base building mod where that rocket, that bullet, that ammo, whatever is in the config for that mod, it can deal damage to base walls and all of that fun stuff.
Let's see how my good old Aussie internet holds up. But here's the video that Mark did. We won't play the audio. We'll just let it go on the background because it's kind of frustrating just from the the whole immersion factor, Cobra. But when guns don't work the way that you know they should, it's frustrating, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, mate. I mean, the good thing about all of that is that I don't think there's been anything really like that, has there? Not in DayZ.
Not to this level, not with the custom animations.
No.
There's plenty of gun packs out there, but
they're not. Yeah, but they're not to this standard, are they? Which is
there's another gentleman on the workshop. His name's Priz. He started this about the same time, roughly the same time I did. He's made a custom weapon animation mod that involves a PKM, a SVU, bullpup SVD, and I think he's starting to work on a semi-automatic two-fed shotgun. So, but his workflow and everything that he's doing is completely different than what I'm doing. And of course, the Blender plugin that we made, I say we, I was mainly a tester. Folks like Hunter Z, Sis Rover helped me out a lot, and many others a part of that circle that just made this whole effort possible. We took that tool and we basically wanted to give it back to everybody. So it's also available for free to any modder who's curious about making their own animations in general, not just weapons, but you want to climb into a vehicle custom way or make a custom animal or some kind of creature, then you can use that tool to do so.
It's awesome. It absolutely is. And yeah, even just down to the little details, like when I was watching Mark's video, I loved how the recoil goes off the chart when you're using a scoped weapon, or a scoped a zoomable sight, because it's they're not an easy weapon to fire from the standing position. What about for I haven't looked into it too much, but what about for lying and deploying a bipod and things like that? Is that stuff you're going to be adding, or it's in there, or?
Also full transparency, I'm horrible at scripting. People who know me in the modding scene know that I couldn't script my way out of a paper bag. I do the modeling, the texturing, and now the animations. So that would involve scripting, and it would involve a couple of other things that are just kind of like beyond my knowledge. So if there's anybody out there that wants to create that, I would welcome the help and add it to the mod. But as a lone guy, that's beyond me.
Because even that would be awesome to see it animated as well. Actually reaching out and deploying the bipod Cobra. Instead
you can
of
animate it though. If you tap F, you can throw it out, and you can actually make the bipod pop out as well. It can be done.
There you go.
But I just don't know the scripting for it.
Yeah. Well, if anyone does and they want to work on an absolutely awesome fucking mod, hit him up. He's in the Discord and he's on Twitter. Here's his contact details. Just putting them in chat there for you. A link to his workshop as well. But, mate, I was so happy to see it. It was just, that's how you respond to something. You don't chuck a hissy fit and all the rest of it. You go, oh, yeah, that is a fair point. Let's see what we can do here. It's a thing of beauty, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're really, really nice.
Just a quick one on that link. Is there a new one there, JD? Because that Twitter one has gone through as not in existence at the moment.
He's probably been banned. I just got that before. I literally just got that link just before.
Oh, it's because the word Steam is at the end.
There you go.
There's no spacing. Right.
Yeah.
Let me fix that.
All right, let me give you a little follow, mate. There you go. Followed
Thank
on.
you.
And I'm going to
also right there, I noticed somebody in your comments, Marks, mentioned in this clip we're watching here, for some reason the shell casings are going across in front of the gun.
Yeah.
I am also pleased to report that's fixed, so that's getting pushed to the
Oh,
workshop
nice.
today.
Great.
There's a lot of little annoying things that probably need to be updated, but yeah.
Sounds
Overall,
like.
for go on, Cobra. Sorry.
I was going to say, it sounds like King Alex and JD need to do some work together here. I think Alex has got something
Shoot
else
me a
for him.
DM on Discord.
Yeah, that'll work out well.
Yeah, it's the old runaway gun. You don't see that, and it's one of the bugs I have with DayZ JD is the stoppages in this game are shit. There's really only one stoppage, and that's a jammed weapon. Other than empty mag,
Yeah.
that's it. And if you're very unlucky and somehow end up with ruined ammo and manage to load it, because I don't even think it lets you load it now. But I would love to see different types of stoppages because for those who know firearms, there is a multitude of ways that things can go wrong, down to ones where you basically have to take it to an armorer to fix. Now, obviously, that's going a bit crazy, but can you imagine if you had a stovepipe round or something like that in your sniper or something like that, and you've got machine guns in particular are quite cantankerous little things. King Alex probably remembers, but when you're in a dirty environment and you're firing a lot of ammunition, the carbon buildup in those things is pretty insane. And it could get to the point where, especially with the old Mag 58 or the GPMG, whatever you call it, we would literally sit there and turn it around so the barrel was pointing towards us, and you try to hold it off to the side so it wasn't aiming at your head, and you'd use your boot to kick the handle because it was just that jammed up. So you could open it up, and then you literally just got we used to carry a spray bottle of oil, and you just spray as much fucking oil as you could inside the thing to hopefully lubricate it so you could keep on firing because you didn't have time to do it. But it would be awesome to see some different stoppages, so it's not just a case of hold X and that banging noise it does, and you will punch a weapon every now and then. It's not the smartest move because they're hard, but you'll bang them and you'll hit them to get them working. You'll do anything to keep your gun firing, but if you don't know what the stoppage is, DayZ's, like I said, I really only got two: empty mag and a jam of some sort, but not all jams are equal. So it'd be great to see something along those lines. JD, is that something you think could be done, or?
It can be done. You would need, I think you'd have to make adjustments to the animation graph, which for those who don't know what that is, it's basically a glorified flow chart on conditions. So if jammed, if stoppage is this, then it would fork out to, is it a stovepipe? Is it just simply jammed, or whatever the case may be. And then from there, you'd be able to perform an animation, which it probably would require a lot more scripting on the firearm state machine, which for those who don't know what that is basically just a different combination of conditions that the weapon can be in, no bullet in the chamber with a loaded mag, or empty mag with the bullet in chamber, and all the different combinations that handle that. So it basically just needs to know where to go on the flow chart. If you create that, then you can do anything. Actually, that's a nice little segue into one thing that I've really wanted to work on. I have a lot of models, 3D models at my disposal. One thing I want to work on, and I just can't find the right person in the community to help me get it across the finish line, is open bolt guns.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Reforger just got open bolt guns. The difference is, like, think about it. All of our weapons in DayZ are closed bolt firearms. So for something like an open bolt gun, to illustrate it, I have an upper receiver for my Mac 11 submachine gun. It fires from the open position, similar to how the M249 actually works underneath the hood, but we can get away with it here because you're not actually seeing that. But for here, you got to think about the different conditions. When you pull the trigger, the bolt drops and detonates the round, and then pulls back to basically grab another round. If you hold down the trigger, it just rinse and repeats itself into full auto. The condition, of course, it's a little bit different because you could cock the weapon open like this, but and if your gun's empty, then you need this pull the trigger, clank. and a different other combinations that the weapon would be in. The game doesn't currently support it, and I know Reforger just recently got support for it. So that would open up things like Thompsons, Uzis, you name it.
Michael does raise a good point there. It's a bit of a joke comment, but at the same time, it is legit. Probably the last thing we need right now is more ways for the guns to malfunction, Cobra. We already have ghost bullets, hand bugs, other bugs affecting gunfights and gameplay. But it'd be nice to have some legit failures, wouldn't it, Cobra, rather than these, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, can you remember the first time your gun jammed when playing this game? And you're sitting there going, what the fuck is going on here? I'm dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't even know what's gone on, do you? Obviously now things have changed a little bit. It's a lot more widely known. But yeah, adding a few little bits in would probably be interesting. So things a lot of learning there for most players, I think.
No, but I'm excited to hopefully see a bit more realism with the weapons. I know not everyone will, but yeah. By the way, folks, it's popping up in chat there. Make sure you're going in and you're clicking the link there to make sure you've added Frostline to your wish list. Everything we're seeing, we're going to be talking a bit more about that shortly. Mark's has got a bit to say on that, but yeah, it's blowing me away. I've totally gone around from kind of meh to quietly optimistic. But yeah, no, this is awesome. Lazian's even there saying some of the weapons in chat there: the PM63, the rack, PKM, the saw, the Uzi. So
actually, the PM63 rack, we also have legacy files for. I actually brought their model. The model they have in the game files works, so it's properly defined. You just got to help it out a little bit in config. And the animations are there. I got some of them in, but when I started looking at the firearm, I was thinking, oh crap, we don't have support for open bolt. And then I was thinking, okay, how can I cheese this? And then the more I thought about it, just didn't make any sense. And it would cause more visual bugs than anything else. So that's where I'm thinking, okay, we need to figure out how to do open bolt. And then of course, once the hinges are blown off that door, I could bring in my Mac 11 that I own and model it in the game and reload it however I want, you know?
Just give me 1 sec, folks. I'm just going to refresh the stream because I can't type chat messages. 1 sec.
There we go.
And he's gone. But yeah, no, the animations are really.
Oh,
there we go.
Mark, you were saying?
They're so clean. Oh no, the animations are amazing. Like could you imagine when DayZ hit stable or when 1.0 first came out? Could you imagine ever a day of now where you can get a mod has all these animated weapons that have never been seen before? Some of them have been in the game, but like the 249's never been in the game. The Terminator shotgun animations, the P90 that they had, the MP7, like just all these crazy.
Yeah, the MP7 was one that I really wanted to get right. So the way the animation files work, basically you have a file for each action, charging the weapon and then inserting a mag, pulling the mag out, and so on, right? You have a full animation set, which is in the files called ERC or erect, which is used for both crouch and standing. So they use the same files, where basically everything's happening in front of your chest, if that makes sense. Right. So, and then you have P&E for prone. So you have all those animation sets, loading the mag, charging it, unjamming it. You have to do it all over again for prone. So that's where some of the weapons in my pack, it will use the standing ones. So the worst case scenario is going to be like the Arma 2 days, where when you go prone, your hands will just kind of go into the ground because you're still performing the action in front of your rib cage. But if you're prone, it's in the ground.
On the ground,
but for balance reasons, it stays the same. The MP7, I actually made custom animations for prone as well, so it has a full animation set. And I think the Groza has a full animation set. The Groza was legacy files, so it didn't take quite as much work. As I went through these, though, first the M249 was a pain in the butt. We were figuring out a lot of things to do with the tools, the way the animation system in DayZ, at least in DayZ's branch of Infusion, how it works. But now it's let's say the Tech 9 that's in the mod. Very simple thing. It's custom charging, custom mag insert. I didn't really mess around with the jamming because that takes a minute. It's a pain in the butt.
Mhm.
But now I can crank out animations a lot more faster than I can when I first did the M249. Just figuring out shortcuts. As somebody who didn't know anything about animations, I started looking up all kinds of things. So if people are even remotely familiar with the animation industry and really just, I mean, a lot of it's on YouTube, a lot of it's on Google, a lot of how-tos, healthy practices that'll make your animations feel more alive. The one that I think I did pretty much from scratch with not referencing the game files at all, probably be the P90. That one.
Right.
Sorry, just a quick one in chat there, Sky Crazy. I just shared a couple of videos that talk about how to use scopes in DayZ, vanilla scopes, to get not even really just an estimate, but a quite accurate range to within, 50 to 100 meters or so, which is generally at up to around about 300 to 400 meters with most rifle. That's okay. You're not going to be too far off if you're 100 to 200 meters out in your ranging. Longer ranges, yeah, you definitely want to be using a rangefinder if you can get one. But that last link in particular is a video by Amish Said, Ranging and Scope Guide for DayZ, and talks about the ATOG, the 6x48 and the PSO. And if you just Google it, there is other stuff out there on how to use other scopes and that as well. It's just something that you'll work out with distance. And like Cobra said, use the football field method. There's many ways for range for I'm not sure. King Alex may have a video on it. I'm not sure. If not, it's definitely something you should look at doing, mate, because they do teach you in the military a lot of different ways, such as bracketing. There's a whole pile of different methods, and the football field is a good one. Yeah,
it's the easiest, most recognized, isn't it?
Yep.
Something I wish the modding community would produce more of are accurate reticles. So a lot of the modders don't understand how to do this. They project a 2D like basically not a PNG, but a PAA image, usually like a 4K or 2K image, inside the scope, and that's what you see. If you actually scale that down to where it's the proper proportions, then you start to get some anti-aliasing weirdness around the edges. You see some weird wide outlines. It doesn't look right. The way to fix that is actually to make the reticle, which some of them can be pretty busy, not a lot of them are that simple, but make it a 3D mesh inside the scope. I made a Trigicon ACOG that I actually owned in real life. It was a partnership with Primary Arms with their ACSS reticle, which has bullet drop compensation built in for 5.56 and range estimation, lead estimation, wind estimation, and got it to scale properly with DayZ's 5.56 and DayZ's player model. But it had to be a 3D mesh. So I don't see a lot of people doing that.
Yeah, because as much as I talk about how DayZ's more than just a pew game and all the rest of it, pews are still an essential core part of the game. And with DayZ, it's always been this more realistic game, bordering on a sim, and the more we can do with this sort of stuff of keeping the accuracy, the legitimacy of these weapons and accessories and all the rest of it, the better it is for what makes DayZ so special compared to games like Rust and that, which are a bit more arcadey style.
Yeah.
So what was the reaction to the video on YouTube, Marks?
Mostly positive, I think. Yeah, they were liking the mod, but then obviously there was a lot of talk of should an M249 be added to vanilla DayZ, should it not? I personally think no. I don't see the point. Why should we add that when we have 60 round mags in an M4 or 75 rounds on an AKM? It's it just doesn't seem necessary personally, but otherwise everybody loved it.
Also, think about consoles. So I started my journey with DayZ console back in 2018. You got to think like the 75 round AK drum on a PS4, even if you fire the whole mag, by the time you're at the end of the drum, your frames are dropping from all the particles and everything, and it's like anything beyond that would just be game breaking physically. There was, I'm not going to quote who told me this, but I did reach out to Bohemia since these were their legacy animations after all. And I've heard that some people over the years have attempted to get the M249 working in DayZ and just kind of got scrapped along the way.
Right.
But I told them, since I'll use their files to get this to work with my model, do they want the files? Like they're welcome to them if it helps them save time. They checked with the animation team, the Infusion animation team, who make animations for DayZ, Reforger, and Armor 4. And basically the consensus was, yeah, sometimes we'll use things that the community has made, but we are not going to use something that we don't plan to add to the game anytime soon, which translates to the M249 in vanilla is not happening anytime soon, if at all. So
it just seems pointless, really. What are you going to use it for? It could be used for base rating, but otherwise than that, like,
that's it.
And especially when you consider that, unless you're Johnny Rambo, although there is that new LMG that what's his name? Come on, JD, you know all the gun tubers. I think it might have been administrative results. I'm not sure, but they got their hands on this new integrated recoil suppression LMG.
Yeah, it's part of the NGSW thing, right? It's
Literally walking.
Grand Thumb is who did
LMG.
it. Yep.
And it's the most insane thing I've ever seen, having fired, a 5.56 and a 7.62 machine gun, and it's got barely any recoil. But the reality with nearly every other automatic weapon, not just LMGs, but any reasonable caliber automatic weapon, you very rarely ever fire them full auto. You fire them in controlled bursts, and even most machine guns, they teach you controlled bursts. Unless it's mounted, unless it's in a prone position, you're lying. You don't fire them full auto. You just fire them in small bursts, because otherwise it just sprays worse than a shotgun. You'd have more luck with a shotgun than you would with
my real life gun ownership, because I own several, but I really, really love to kill paper.
Yeah.
Like if paper was my enemy, I've killed so much paper, and maybe some steel gongs and stuff along the way. But I mean, my machine gun that I legally own, I just let her rip. I let her sing, and then just ride the lightning. It's a lot of fun. But in a real world application, it's gonna have to be short controlled bursts, because like you got like a 30 round magazine, it's gone quick, even with a low rate of fire.
Paper slayers. I like that. Paper slayers.
Yeah, paper slayers.
But like King Alex was saying there, 15 to 20 minutes of sustained fire amount, or the other thing as well is they get hot. They get damned hot.
Hot.
Like to the point where if you're putting hundreds of rounds through it, it starts to glow. This here's actually a suppressor that I designed for 300 blackout and 5.56. It's bored for 308, made out of titanium and stainless steel. This has like a 2,000 degree high heat paint on it. About every range trip it rubs up against it, and I can prime it, I can do whatever, it doesn't matter. I mean, it gets hot. One time I was at the range and I went to go put my rifle, this is for an AR, I put my rifle down, and out of instinct with my bare hand, after dumping 3 magazines, I grabbed it. It was like laying bacon on a hot skillet. And it was horrible. It was bad. Man,
they get hot.
The worst thing you could ever have is a hot round fall down the inside of your shirt, and you've got your shirt tucked in. It's literally you start dancing, and you've got little burns all down the front of you. Cobra, you've had that happen a few times, I'm guessing?
Once or twice.
I always tell my wife, no low cut shirts at the range.
Mm-hmm.
It's always at the range, isn't it? Always at the range, right?
Yeah.
Don't wear shorts on the range.
But no, I'm excited for this, and I'm excited to see where we go with some more realism with the weapons in the game, because I'm all about that realism. Give me that immersion. Give me my immersion, baby. Need it. Love it.
I think my next item coming to the mod is going to be, not to spoil anything, custom animated Barrett M82A1 or a Barrett M107.
Oh, there you go.
And
that would be nice.
I live close to where Barrett's headquarters is in Tennessee. So they're kind of like local friends of ours, and been behind the 50 cals many times, but I really haven't found a mod out there that can capture the thud and the goosh. You know, like when you shoot it, boosh. Yeah, I haven't found that, so I'll do my best to do that. But yeah, I think that'd be fun for some folks.
That would be cool. Get Barrett to sponsor the mod.
Well,
cool
that's a good segue into the next topic on the agenda. And it's good to have a modder here and a modder who's been involved in monetization of stuff. So we brought it up again because it kept on getting brought up in the Discord about commercial use of mods and servers. And I started it off with, I shared to a number of resources, information about copyright law, about Creative Commons law, about intellectual property laws, and just all of that sort of stuff, because a lot of people, myself included, who are fans of people being able to monetize the stuff, guess who who brought it up. But they need to remember that there are laws around this, and regardless of what someone like BI puts into their EULA and all the rest of it, if a country has laws, those laws will take precedence over what's in there. Usually, though, these EULAs, these end user license agreements, are made by lawyers who read the relevant laws and they've dotted their I's and they've crossed their T's. So unless it's challenged in court, and a court with the jurisdiction to rule on it overrules what they've said, you have to abide by their rules. It's their house. It's their rules. There are some games that are more friendly to this. I've heard Rust is. GTA definitely is. Where there's a massive, the 5M sort of stuff around it. But DayZ's always tread this funny sort of line. So did you follow any of the conversation in there, JD? Did you see it?
A little bit, but with the modding scene, I've been around the DayZ PC modding scene since about 2019, and seen quite a bit over the years. A lot of people come and go, different ideologies, but I know that when it comes to you create a mod, now let's just subtract the fact that you might be, like, for example, if I import this Silencer Co. Osprey 9mm suppressor, it's got Silencer Co.'s logo on it, and this is a product and likeliness that they probably have protections over. Let's just say it's a metal tube. Then it's your artwork. That's where the line in the sand is. So like a script can be edited in a text editor. It can be created by anything, right? Or by anybody. But when you start making textures or a 3D model, literally artwork, then you have a lot more protections over it. So it's something to consider, because a lot of people out there are monetizing mods that involve like party systems, that involve a lot of scripting, and they protect that scripting as if it's artwork. And then once you get into the artwork, it gets even weirder. So imagine the Mona Lisa is copyrighted. You can't just take the Mona Lisa and say, oh, this is mine, and it's the same. You can't copy paste it. But if you take the Mona Lisa and you change over 50% of it, now it changes from being the Mona Lisa to your work. So we see a lot of mods out there that monetize things like importing Tarkov assets or assets from other titles. So when that happens, now you have to ask yourself, are you doing this to the point to where you're making enough money to justify the other guy paying his team of lawyers to come after you, because lawyers aren't cheap? So if you're making like a couple $100 at most on this or something, no one's hiring a whole team of lawyers to come after you on that type of stuff. So there's black and white license agreements, copyright protections, and then there's the reality. It's the gray, the vagueness. That's where we live. Overall, yeah.
I go for it, mate. Finish it off.
Well, overall, personally, I don't really think fondly of monetizing mods. I think that stuff belongs to the community. However, I've held for the entire time I've been modding. That's my opinion, and I understand why others do it. Time is money. I get it.
Quick question for you, mate. Quick question for you. How many guns you got under that desk of yours right now?
Yeah, right. You keep pulling out stuff.
Right. I just see you pulling out bloody gun after gun after silencer, after bloody
6.
round mag, whatever.
I got full auto, a Mosin, an AR, a Scorpion Evo, Desert Eagle, and a 12 gauge.
Right, just quickly then. You got to show a couple of them, mate. Come on.
No, you can't.
Hey, that's what I thought. I figured it would
He's straight
be
back in.
POS.
He's already bloody got himself in the shit, so don't worry.
Mate, I could drop 100 C bombs and would still be more likely to be monetized than if he shows off one IRL pew pew.
I was only playing with you, JD.
That's why I just said, like if I have a part or something that's not like pulling up an actual strap. So, but no, yeah, they're around. We just in case, North Korea parachutes in, Red Dawn 101. Just gotta be ready. Drop bodies for your country. Now, I'm just kidding. I kill paper and just mind my own business.
You were saying something before, just while I ducked out to grab a drink, about with the monetization, the transformative nature, and all the rest of it, and BI not really going after. But people have got to remember, BI are very happy to send out cease and desists. I don't know if they've ever taken anyone to court, but they will send out cease and desists. And once you get a cease and desist, the ball game changes. And whether they're going to go after you for something that small, I don't know. I'm unaware. If anyone in chat knows of anyone who's had any further action taken against them past that, but I know they've had service shut down. They've had YouTube channels or videos deleted. So you've got to be very, very careful when you start going in on this. Now, part of that discussion was also about content creators coming in and making money off of the backs of server owners and modders. And this was it's a valid point, but it went a bit off the fucking rails with almost borderline hatred towards content creators. But it is
really.
People's names were getting dropped as some of the worst. It was crazy. I've locked the thread now, but
I noticed it was gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we only have these up for the discussion in the lead up to the show.
Right.
Once the show's on, we don't need to have it there anymore. We move on to another topic. And I've already got the next two up there for the next two shows as well, if anyone's interested. A couple of good ones there. But what are your thoughts on that yourself, JD, as a modder? Knowing that you'll make, if you're lucky, you might get a donation or a tip from someone here and there. But otherwise, pretty much you're not going to see a cent. But you know that there are some content creators out there who are earning very good incomes. The leaks happened with Twitch. We know a couple of the names and all the rest of it, but I'm not going to say them. But anyone with a couple of brain cells to rub together knows who the people are who are making six-figure incomes from this game. And I say good luck to them. But when it comes to the service that they play on or the modders, what are your thoughts on that, JD?
The thing that, so I'm in the modding community, I'm a bit of the exception, not the rule. A lot of modders, they like to monetize what they do. But for me, always my payment has just been, if I create something and the players see it and get to enjoy it, that's all the payment I need. Like, I don't need money. I just need players to have fun. And if I can help them have fun, that's kick ass. So like Marks does a video on my mod, I'm not going to say things like, do a video on my mod, but give me a slice of the pie or something like that. Like, no, I'm just happy that it's out there on the airways and people can see it. Therefore, they potentially can start enjoying it. That's kick ass to me.
And I think
see that there's other people out there that don't think that way, but that's at least how I think.
And I think as well, like when I make a video, obviously the money part would obviously be always good for a modder, but it's more than just money. Other modders see it who might be able to help them with a certain issue. Yeah. The community sees it and gives them back ideas. The devs see it, and it's a possibility it could be they could hire them down the road if they wanted to. They see this really good work they're doing, they reach out to them. Mm-hmm. There's so much more possibilities than just money that comes from a mod showcase video.
Yeah, but the comeback I always have for that, Cobra, is good feelings, intentions, thoughts and prayers don't put food on the table.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But again,
No, I'll go to Cobra on this one.
oh, sorry.
No, it's fine, mate. I just I got to be honest. I don't understand the whole conversation around that. I mean, why would somebody get annoyed about someone creating something in a video, bit of footage
I know.
about
That's
Christ,
why also
how
I'm
how many
confused.
thousands of millions of bloody mods that have been out there? What are you going to say? Don't content create again ever? You know what I mean? It doesn't make no sense.
What
Yeah,
I
I
ended up pointing out, because the main person arguing this, Lakavu, was saying, there's nothing I can do to stop these people leeching off of me. And it was like, well, no, you can. You can whitelist your server, so you can be very selective as to who gets to play on your server.
Mhm.
And if you don't want to do that, you can ban. Any server admin worth their salt knows how to identify who's on their server. And you've just got to go and get something like CF Tools Cloud, and you can see all the information. You can see linked accounts to that account you banned, and if you are really that obscene about it, no, Scar Speeder, no.
I was about to say.
I'm not saying that. Not saying that at all. Not saying that at all. No, definitely not. The only thing I have is, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, I think content creators should do more to help modders. Get them on and play with them. Invite, some of the more reputable modders to come and do a collab with them on stream or something like that, and get their awareness out there. Like Mark said, it's not always about thoughts and prayers, versus money. Just doing something like that can help raise the awareness. Imagine if Amish Z played with someone, or Toprek played with a modder, or someone like that. Just to let these. I know not all modders are going to do it. Modders traditionally, the stereotype is they're very introverted and very quiet, and they don't like being in the spotlight. JD, you're laughing because but for those who do want to. Even if they're not playing with them, they just come into chat and they talk to them while they're playing. It must be hard trying to think of something to come up with to talk about every day, 5 days a week.
We did do that once, didn't we?
I think so, yeah.
I think it was with my jungle mod, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did do
it was
that.
me, Sil, and you, and somebody else, I think.
Yeah,
well,
that's right.
Orcs has just messaged me and said player ID is available through Bohemia server software. You don't need CF Cloud or other add-on software. So you don't even need to go for CF Tools and pay for the subscription and all the rest of it. But that there kind of brings me to one of the points where I do think that there needs to be some sort of review, because there are modders out there who are legitimately and legally, like CF Tools does, making a good income that no one frowns upon. So I just think that there's still, I know this is a broken record, folks. We always, every couple of months, we always seem to come back to this topic, but I'm never going to end it. I just want to see modders getting more support, whether it be through donations and tips to support what they're doing, and not be shouted down every time they do something. Shout down the ones who abuse it. But there are some people out there. I firmly stand by the way Matty Ice did his Bitterroot. Was it perfect? Probably not. But overall, it delivered a pretty damn high quality map, and it was a learning curve. And I can't wait to see the next similar project that's sort of crowdfunded by the community. Go for it, Marks.
And on the tips and donations thing, a lot of modders, and not all of them again, but a lot of them who kind of complain are their worst enemy, because there's a lot of ways a modder.
Oh, Marks, you cut out.
Yeah, we've lost your audio, mate.
Money. They can stream. They can create video. Hello. Test 1 2.
Yep.
Hello.
You're back.
Sorry, my internet's not great. But the modders are sometimes working against themselves. They can stream. They can make YouTube videos, tutorials on how to mod. They can get partnered those ways or whatever. Most modders don't even put their donation links in their Steam page.
Yeah.
Promote this stuff. So other people complain.
This is kind of why I keep on bringing it up, Marks, because there is such a culture around modders only doing it for the benefit of society, for the good of everyone. And any modder who has tried to make $1 is usually ostracized and called, he's the devil. He's the demon.
He's
we
the
need
devil.
yeah, we need. That's yeah. Thank you. You got where I was going with it. And that's all I'm asking is for people to be open to the idea of modders being able to legitimately make a coin if they wish to. Not saying that they have to, but if they wish to, yeah. Scale Speeder, what did you say there? The people who should be encouraged to support modders, the server owners who use mods to make their popular, then charge for priority queue. 100% agree. 100% agree. If it's a monetized server, then you should definitely be making some donations and tips to the mods that enable you to keep going. Like, I wonder how much Jacob Mango's received for CF. And that's
$4
that's like kind of like the core mod for any community server, isn't it, JD? Can you explain what that mod is for those who don't know?
The community framework?
Yeah.
I really haven't dove down. Again, most of it's scripting, and I'm not necessarily a scripter, but it does streamline quite a bit. So it makes modding more simple for those who do. But yeah, my scripting side, my knowledge isn't super deep or well versed.
But it's kind of one of those that V++ admin tools. There's these core mods that pretty much every community server worth its salt has on there, and even things like Dab's editor. I wonder how many donations these people receive from someone. You'll make a tip to a streamer or a YouTuber, or the best DayZ podcast out there. Cha-ching, cha-ching, baby, cha-ching, cha-ching.
You sell out.
But
fucking lost it.
Don't forget to do the modders. Don't forget to show some love their way. Not all of them want it. Many of them are just happy to do what they do as their hobby, and more power to them. But if they've got a link, check it out. Check your favorite community server and the mods that you love the most. Check them on the workshop and see if they've got a link. Go, Marks.
I was saying it to hunters. We were talking about the horse mod, and it came up. I was like, do you have your PayPal linked in your Steam page or stuff like that? And he was like, no, I don't want it there because it seems like I'm forcing people to donate, and I don't want to. I just do because I enjoy it. And it's like, okay, fair. If he doesn't want that, that's totally fine. So modders have a lot of ways to make money if they want. If modders are giving out about not being able to make money and they don't have any of these things in place, well, then they only really kind of have themselves to blame in a way.
No. And like I said before, Marks, there is a strong culture around modders making money, a strong culture against modders making money. So that is why so many of them.
Personally, but yeah.
Oh, mate, JD.
There is. Some even get more or less exiled from the community.
But isn't that
from
mainly
certain discords? I mean,
isn't that mainly modders just giving out to other modders because they're making money and the other modders aren't? Because I don't think it's the community, like the players or the creators of the servers only don't really care. It just seems to be the modding community hates when another modder is doing it, and it's like, well, you just do it as well then if you want.
No, even look at what happened. And admittedly, it was a bad rollout, but look at the vitriol against was it Bethesda with the Skyrim paid mods when they broached the idea. There is a strong culture around it, Marks, even amongst players. And that's why
was kind of forced down people's throat. It was like, you want this mod, you have to pay for it. Whereas with DayZ, it's like, if you want this mod, you can have it. And if you enjoy it, like I don't know if it was on your video, JD, the video I done on your weapons, or if it was Hunters, and I can't remember. But somebody in that was like, this is a mod that is so well done, I would be happy to donate to this modder. And I can't remember which video it was.
Hunter Z's mod, number one, his mod's more kick-ass than my mod. The horse thing, that's awesome.
It's brilliant.
It is. It's absolutely brilliant. So he deserves it more than I. I have a good paying day job. I'm blessed with that. So I don't need DayZ modding to be a source of income. For one, it turns into a job. And instead of it being just my artistic outlet, it becomes a task hanging over my head, sucks all the fun out of it. And there's plenty of people over the years that have been like, hey, can you do this? Can you import this? Can you show me how to do that? I'll pay you. And I'm just like, no. And I go out of I literally, and people who worked with me will tell you this, I've gone out of, I'm not trying to brag on myself. Don't get the wrong idea, but I've gone out of my way to refuse payment. People even offering to purchase the M249 animation or purchase the RPG animation that I'm going to push later today for free for everybody to use. It's, I got into modding back in 2019 because of the explode on impact weapons, the grenade launchers that servers had in their server packs, and I wanted to figure out how those work so I could make my own. And everybody gatekeep the hell out of it. Back then, it was horrible. It was annoying, and I finally figured out how to do it, thanks to an old college roommate of mine. But honestly, like this is stupid. This, like, one good idea can lead to another, and like, I don't know. You could post something on the workshop 2 years ago, and someone gets an idea like, oh damn, I should do this, and that's how community grows. But if you keep all these cards close to your chest as a modder in the community, you're robbing the whole community of a brighter future. And I know that sounds corny as hell, but I mean, that is literally why I pull those all-nighters. That's why I like barked up this tree for M249 animations for 4 years. I mean, it's why. But like I said, I'm the exception. Not a lot of modders, they're not built that way. They don't think that way. Time is money, and that's it. I get it. If I got laid off from my job tomorrow, yeah, probably I would be asking for commissions, to pay the bills, take care of my family. I get it. But it's something I've been able to avoid.
I think the big difference there is quite simple, and I think this is exactly what Marx was trying to say, was that there's a big difference between advertising yourself on every stream, please donate, and having just a link that says, if you wish to donate, you may. That's a massive difference. And I think if anyone put that on their streams, I do. I don't ask for any donations, but, ultimately, if you don't do that, then, you're not going to get nothing anyway. So at the end of the day, what is the harm in saying, should you wish to donate, then you can do here. If you don't, then don't worry about it. It's not a big issue.
And modders just need to learn that they can ask if they do need it or buy models or something like that. Don't be afraid to ask. And for those of you out there, if you find someone who's not really keen on taking a monetary donation, look at something else. Like, JD, I think, has now got a nice new logo for his weapons mod. Thanks to Connor. I'm getting someone to work with Hunter Z to make a really good quality trailer for his horses mod, because it's just such a good mod. There's things you can do to help these people with what they do. Most modders, they're awesome at doing stuff like the animations and the scripting and all the rest of that sort of stuff. But when it comes to making a YouTube video to promote what they do, most of them are, they struggle in that. So there's plenty of ways you can offer services to help them that whilst they might not want a cash donation, they may enjoy a nice logo or a video, or I've done some for Dump Grower in the past, and welcome BWAT and viewers. How you doing, folks? Nice to have you in here. And also, where was it? Amazing yacht destinations. Good morning from Thailand. Have a shot of Mekong for me. That's an awesome drink, Mekong, if you've never had it. Okay, Marks, the dev stream.
Yes, they did. So they shut off 126. It was a pre-build of experimental, so it wasn't experimental during the week. A lot of changes coming. I think more than expected. Fishing getting a complete rework, which I think is good, because to be honest, I've never fished in the game. I don't know, just never used it really.
What, Marks? What is that? What are you saying? You've never fished in the game?
Like twice, I think.
That is awful, mate. That is fucking awful.
Anyway. You can craft hooks from sticks, I think it is now, so that's good. Or you can find them. They've added more lures, I think. There's obviously more fish species, I think, coming. What else is there? Yeah, and obviously the fishery work in general, which is going to be a good thing. Inventory sizes, I think, is a big one, where a lot of the inventory stuff is suddenly being reduced, but then also some of the items in game are also being reduced. So people are kind of giving out about it, but at the moment we don't really know. We won't know until we play it.
We've got that
Yeah,
as a
we'll come back
topic
to that.
coming up in a couple of weeks' time, I think, to talk about the inventory and that in more depth. But I'm intrigued with what they're doing there. But like the hunter vest, that one kind of surprised
really
me.
Reduced.
Yeah.
Which I like. Is going to make the game refreshing in a way. Obviously, the heat they've added in, so that's mainly for Frostline. They've tweaked sicknesses as well, apparently, and the pills for them. So we'll have to see that. I
did have to laugh about the sicknesses, as Mondian has just come back to the community, and one of the first of his awesome little sheets that he does. There's probably some people who've never even seen an Asmondian one-page guide. The guy has this knack of being able to basically condense an entire section of DayZ into a one-page graphic. And I'll just bring up his one of them now to show you. But he just gets this one out, and then they rework the sicknesses. So this is the sort of stuff Asmondian does. How good is that?
Very good.
Yeah, just phenomenal, amazing stuff. You guys watching on stream probably can't read it, but I'll share a link in chat to it for everyone. He's a freak. He also actually helped design the DayZ logo and named the 87.8 Survivor FM community. But carry on.
He does good ones. So there's the sicknesses. There's obviously new clothing coming. So they confirmed the shimag, which I confirmed in the video the day before. I think it was.
It's gone again.
Wait, hang on. Test 1 2. Hello.
You good?
I'm back. Right. Sorry. Sorry, my internet's not great. So they've confirmed the shimag and other clothing that they haven't mentioned yet. They possibly maybe kind of teased that Snow Gilly is coming to Sakal. Not 100% confirmed. The big one was the meat changes to wolf and bear. Also with the wolf, you have the head that you'll be able to wear. If you don't headshot the wolf, you'll be able to wear like the wolf. The infected meat one's going to be interesting. Again, it's hard to tell without playing.
You just know some of this is Windstride. Yeah, they got the best guy to do this.
Yeah, the shimag and stuff is all his work. But for the meat, I think that's going to be, people are freaking out about it again, but it's kind of a nice balance. I think maybe they're doing that because fishing might suddenly become a bit more popular since it seems to be easier. So who knows, it might balance out well. Hard to tell until we play it.
And a bit more engaging as well, because the point and just hold the mouse button down system was absolutely terrible. Something a bit more interactive. You got to pay a bit more attention and yank the rod at the right time to catch something. It's still
like
not
Minecraft fishing. See splash, click, get fish.
Yeah, it's still not up there with a dedicated fishing game, but it really can't be. But it's something more than just point at water, hold mouse button.
Do you think, this is a little off topic, but it's Frostline related. Do you think with all these changes that are coming into Frostline, that when it releases, do you think Frostline and Sakal is going to be PvP heavy, or will people band together to kind of survive the elements and
we'll see.
Actually be friendly for it?
Say a mix of both.
That's one thing I always liked about Namolsk. There was a reason to engage with other players, especially in the beginning of the game before you went to the South Island, once you build up a bit of resistance in that. But yeah.
It'll be interesting.
I'll go the other way. Mate. I reckon it'll be PvP all over the show, mate. That's all.
Really? Yeah.
Something I wanted to ask y'all, and maybe those in chat as well. So, Marks, you know how we ran with my jungle mod on Chernarus?
Yes.
It's Jungle Chernarus, same hills and valleys you're used to. It's a quick bolt-on mod. I'm not trying to plug it or anything. I'm just saying, like, the way it's designed is supposed to be easy. It's efficient as one can be. Just replaces the vegetation. It gives you this tropical feel. I was considering taking when Sakal releases, taking a look at the files and overwriting the vegetation there, if I can manage it, the satellite map, and maybe make Sakal Tanoa again. Bring it back to the tropics.
It could be
Do that.
interesting.
Yeah. Ice sheets become sand dunes, sandbars, if you will. Something special with the volcano, maybe. Well,
Yeah, it could be
that.
cool.
But if no one really wants that and they just want to, like freeze their tatas off on Sakal, and that's what the community wants, then I guess give them what they want.
I guess you'll have to wait and see, won't you, and see how well the map is received and go from there. I guess, right?
Yeah.
We're all kind of playing a guessing game at the moment, but 126 looks like it's going to be pretty big. They didn't give here's where it kind of gets a bit complicated for some people. They didn't give an exact release date for experimental. Frostline will not drop with 126 experimental, but they said when 126 stable releases, Frostline will be out either with it or a little bit before it, they said. So experimental is usually in for about a month. So I don't think it'll come out next week because they have the exploit patch coming out next week. It might come out maybe the week after. Again, we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, maybe late September, October-ish, unless they extend the experimental. It'll be interesting to see, but it seems like a lot of interesting stuff is coming. Again, they don't obviously show off everything that's coming in that update. They didn't show off any new weapons, which was interesting. I don't know if they're even going to add any, unless Frostline or Sakal comes with its own specific one for that map. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what fixes and patches and changes they do to it as well. So I think 126 definitely the biggest update of the year by far.
That's what I've heard as well from some of the developers that I personally know, is they just said, I can't tell you much. I'm just going to tell you that it's going to be a big one. It's going to have a lot of stuff under the hood.
Well, hopefully they'll sort out the spawn points. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
Group system. Yeah, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Now, people are saying in chat that bear isn't good to eat. Have you ever hunted it and eaten it, JD?
Can't say I've killed a bear and eaten it. Alligator, shark, dove. As anti-peace as that might sound, delicious, but not a bear.
Okay, I've got the man in chat that I needed to know. My boy Moonshine. He's a West Virginia boy, and yes, he is. When I chat with him, he says holler and all the rest of those sorts of West Virginian terms. And I know he's told me that they've hunted and eaten black bear before. Black bear is very good if fixed right. Now, I actually really did like the fact that they've made the changes to the predator animals, because for those who don't know, predators are more prone to a lot of issues, down to things like with a polar bear, you can't eat its liver because it's got toxic levels of vitamin A or something like that. It'll literally kill you. And with wolves, there's certain parasites in the meat that if you eat too much of it, the long dark has this in there, that if you eat too much of it, you'll start to get sick. So there's a lot of those predator animals that you do need to be very careful of. The herbivores, this is why bears aren't so bad, because they are omnivores. They do eat a lot of berries and stuff like that, but they do eat a lot of meat. But your herbivores are generally safer. That said, pigs, although they're omnivores as well, they will eat meat. That surprised me that they didn't add a disease to the boar meat, because anyone who knows anything about pork, especially wild boars, it's a very dirty meat. You've got to be careful where your pork comes from. Yeah,
you do. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I'm surprised they just decided to put it all in one bucket and say infected meat, because that implies that it's in line with also the infected, aka the Zeds. But parasites, that's more accurate.
Yeah. Parasites and some, like I said with the polar bear, I'm pretty sure it's their liver, could be their kidney, I'm not sure, but you just don't eat it because it's very, very nasty for you. And even eating too much of your predatory fish, and if it's not cooked properly, high levels of mercury in them. I remember when I was a safety officer, we did blood testing, and one of the Korean women, her mercury levels were way higher than they should be for her occupation. And we were we're doing assessments of her workplace, and then someone said, "Look, do you eat a lot of sushi?" She said, "All the time." And they were like, "Okay, that's probably where your mercury levels are coming from." And she didn't know about it. But yeah, you've just got to be careful. And I think it's an interesting thing because, I used to always say when I was doing my streams and playing DayZ, I hear wolves, it's the dinner bell, particularly on a map like the Molsk. It was, great. You'd run to the wolves because, if you had a decent enough weapon, you could take them out real easy. And you were set for days, for weeks, once you killed a pack of wolves. Now,
just get up on something tall like a truck or something and just pick them off.
Yep. Wild boar tastes like regular pork meat in the southern states of the US. Yep, just got to be careful how you prepare it because they're filthy, disgusting creatures. But yeah.
Well, that's probably why they didn't add a disease to the pork, because you do have to cook it right before you eat it. Well, you can eat it, but it would make you sick. So,
same with chicken. Chicken's a very dangerous meat if you don't prepare it properly.
So since you cook it, they probably realize that's probably why. But anyway. Yeah.
But no, overall, it was a good stream. Typical Matej and Adam. I can't not every time I see those two in the room together, JD, think of the that tweet or meme that went out there. Find yourself a woman who looks at you like Adam looks at Matej, and every time they're on stream together and they look at each other.
What do you got in your hand? Is that a grenade?
No, just my vape.
Oh, okay, it looked like a Russian grenade there for a second.
No. I do have something really cool.
Oh, here we go.
We don't want to see your ass, Boydie.
What is that?
Take it off.
I keep this for the memories. It's a I don't know whether you can read that.
Not really.
It's an 81 millimeter mortar canister. There's no round in it. It's empty.
Oh yeah.
I just got some documents in there, but I keep it for the smell.
Oh,
even after all these years, Cobra, it still smells exactly like it does when you open one of these to take the round out to drop in a barrel. But it's even got the little sticker on it that says "free from explosives." So there's nothing dangerous. But it's a weird thing. It's like my little
piece.
It's my little comfort blanket when I'm feeling sad and lonely. I go grab my old mortar round, and it brings me joy in life.
The conversation pieces I have. New production armor-piercing incendiary rounds, 54R. That's I'm not going to name the vendor, but an ammo vendor in the United States. I went to go order novelty World War II ammunition. While I have a Mosin, I would never shoot it because you don't want to get Elmer fudded or anything. But they messed up. I asked for 5 rounds. They sent 5 20-round boxes of new production, and this specific cartridge pierces level 4 ceramic plates. The other one I have is the Mark II 11. For those who know, this is the 50 BMG Ralphus round.
I got a better one.
$120 USD per shot.
Jesus.
It's is that for a Martini Henry?
Yes, it is.
I knew it. Yeah. See, I thought about adding that to the. I got a buddy of mine, Mole, who works for the Stalker Z community. He gave me a Martini Henry model that I probably should animate, and you can get some cool stuff going with that.
For the non-gun people, what's a Martini Henry?
Zulu. Have you seen the movie Zulu?
I'm too young to see that movie.
Or played Battlefield 1?
Oh my God. Get him out of here. Stop the stream right now. Go watch Zulu. It is literally one of the greatest movies of all time.
It's
Colonel Sergeant Vaughn is just an absolute. The man charged himself for falling asleep. That is just. And the real life Colonel Sergeant Vaughn is even more badass than the actor who played him. Completely different, but you got me off on a tangent here. But yeah,
just Battlefield 1. It's like a single shot breech loading rifle, black powder cartridge that has like a wax filler. So it's got that nice smoke plume you get from like a musket, but
And just look at the size of the projectile on it as well.
It's a big pill.
It's
a big pill.
Yeah.
Huge.
So yeah, just absolutely amazing. But yeah, but you have to watch the movie Zulu. It is literally peak British colonizing mindset. But if you can look past that, it's just a great movie, and it's based on a true story as well. And the respect at the end that the two warring sides showed each other is hard to explain to people who aren't military, but it was a very, very nice scene. Whether it really happened, I don't know, but yeah. I just want to give a quick shout out to my boy Moonshine as well. For those who don't know, Moonshine's my mate. We did a fundraiser. We got him a laptop a while ago. He's paralyzed from the waist down. Dude still goes hunting. Says they come and pick him up in the truck, strap his wheelchair to the back of the truck, and take him out into the forest and that. And I just think that's probably the most badass American thing I've ever heard in my life.
I love it.
I love my boy Moonshine. He sends me photos of his property that he lives on, and they literally have bears and stuff like that in their property, and it's just awesome. It's exactly what you imagine someone from West Virginia would be like. Him and Mama and his brother Harry. Yeah. Good people. But no, back to the 1.26 dev stream. There was also the big wipe they did, the big patch. And
it's not our chest. Not our chest. Comment this week.
But they talked about it and seeing. Thank you so much for becoming a member of Amazing Yacht Destinations. Really appreciate it. But there's been some issues big time. And the stuff with console, I had someone send me an image of they'd worked out how to put a player inside a crate.
Yeah.
Crazy. How do you even do that?
Yeah, and the same with the bloody watchtower. Did you see that video I sent earlier? Fucking what's that about, right? So you can put a fully built watchtower in a crate, shoot it, and it pops up to a full build bloody locked watchtower on console, apparently. Mr. White, one of the no. It's some crazy stuff, man. It's crazy stuff. Some exploits going on at the moment. I tell you what. But no, Mr. White from our communities sent it over to me. Have you got that video there? What I sent you?
1 second.
Put that on. That's some crazy shit. I didn't even know about this. I didn't even see this until he sent it over. This is crazy.
Sorry, I just saw Orc sent me a message. Family members infected with parasitic worms after eating undercooked bear. 6 people developed symptoms of roundworm infection after consuming grilled black bear meat and vegetables in July 2022, but all have since recovered. So there's your parasites, folks, worms. But yeah, you said that in the group chat, didn't you?
Yeah. There's a couple of exploits going on there, along with that duping method, but yeah.
Oh God, because these other tards have been talking non-stop about computer fixes. There we go. It was a Reddit post.
Yeah, have a look at this. This is bad. I wouldn't have even thought about this. Marks, did you see this?
The Reddit post that was in, yes.
Yeah. Have a look at this.
It's mad. Is this on PC? This console?
This on console.
PC? Right, console. Right.
Yeah.
I saw this one. Yeah, I put a picture of this in. It sounds crazy.
And that is that method right there. So you put a crate down, you shoot the crate with one bullet, it pops up into a watchtower, and then you can do the same on top of it. It just goes up and up and up. I've never seen anything like it.
My goodness.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
And then people wonder, they're like, why can't the devs fix the duping? Every time the devs fix the duping,
there's another one. Yeah.
There's people coming out and just trying to break the game, and they're just intentionally just trying to break the game constantly.
We talk about this, again, bit of a broken record, but they're always playing catch up, and it's not just a DayZ issue, folks. It's every single game, every single piece of software. There will always be people looking for exploits, and sometimes, yeah, maybe they should have been on the ball with it. Other times, it's something they just didn't know could be done. So, again, it's important that you don't just jump straight onto Reddit and share it and all the rest of it, but you go in and you raise a ticket and with all the information you can. And with stuff like this, it's most likely happening on official servers. So it's important you document the time, the server, so that they could track it back and try to work out what happened. You know, they do have fairly comprehensive logs, and they may be able to work out what steps were taken to make this happen. But like, I don't understand how it's even possible. I remember way back, you know, something I've talked about a few times, but remember when the old flare gun, the slot for the ammo on a flare gun, you could actually put a gun in there, and everyone used to walk around with 10 flare guns and another 10 rifles in there. I don't understand how you can put a built watchtower or an entire player inside a crate. And I asked the question, so wait, that's a player with a full player's inventory? And they said, yeah. And I went, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. How do you do that? How do you even think to try to do that? Like, it's obviously someone who understands scripting and stuff like that, JD, but it
console's limited to the mission files. That's where I cut my teeth. I made my claim to fame. I worked with a YouTuber back in the day called Don Sibley.
Oh, I know Don.
And I made, like, before we even had islands between Prison Island, I made an island bridge made out of garden plots, because with the files, you could just grid out the garden plots and make a straight line right to Prison Island. You don't have to swim. And a couple of other things as well. But that was a long time ago.
I don't think I want to show it.
It doesn't show you how to do it, but it shows exactly what I've just said. I've just sent you the link if you wanted to put it, and I've got the other bits for it as well. That's an actual player who's done it in game. Craziness.
Oh.
Watch this. Shoots the crate, watch. Bang, straight up. Watchtower, straight again.
Yeah, how?
Right, let me show you this. Copy image.
Mad,
Already, this is an image. Right, I'm sending over to you now.
I don't need your dick pics while we're on the show, mate.
I'm surprised that video hasn't been taken down, I must admit.
I'm not doing that one. Have a look at this, right? This is inside someone's crate inventory. That's on console, what I've just sent you over. That was snapped last week on official servers. Look, there's a watchtower in the crate there.
That's crazy.
Oh, okay.
So
does that make sense to you, does it?
Sense. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Now, is that JD? Because if you know what you're going to be saying here, I should imagine. I think I know what you're about to say. So, however they've got it in there, obviously what they've done is about 6 slots away from full, or 8 slots away from full, wherever it is. As soon as you ruin the crate, it pops up. Is that right?
I believe so. I think that's what's happening here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be. It just
and look at that one. There's your player inside a crate somehow.
How the hell did you get that?
I mean, I can see how the console guys did this. So back when I was doing a lot of console, what they say modding, a majority of console modding is actually with Dab's DayZ editor. Believe it or not. When people say, "Yeah, I'm a console modder," that's what it is. But so the console modders, they will push the boundaries of the mission files that maybe Bohemia is not aware of, and also what the PC modding community aren't aware of either, because they don't have to worry about it. They don't have to worry about it. If they want something different, they'll just make a mod, right? So in console, you're limited. And that's what I was alluding to earlier with making a bridge to Prison Island made out of garden plots, gridded out. And also, for those who know, Skypeen, which was an 8-bit dick and balls above Green Mountain that guided tens of thousands of survivors on their way north as encouragement, is hilarious. It was a fan favorite. And so, like the PC guys, they're not going to have to do any of that. Like if they want to put an object in the sky, they're just gonna put like builder items, put stuff up there, and it's done. But since you're limited with the mission files down to just like some JSONs, which Bohemia's helped them with, giving them like gameplay.jsons, weather controls, basically like build anywhere mod built into it. Then they've been throwing a couple bones, but they push the limits to things that I don't even think Bohemia considers as possible at the time. But I can see if there's not a restriction on it, you can, if you take a class name and put it into a box, then you can do that. If it will go in the box or fit in the box, then okay, that's some cancer right there. What the hell?
And people wonder why DayZ runs like crap on old gen.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
But I've seen these live on officials though.
Scale Speeder's right. It's a spawnable types thing. I don't want to get into technicalities, but he's right. It's if it fits, it'll go in. And it can be any class name. If you look in config.cpp for the modders out there, it's scope equals 2. So that is something that can just be spawned in. That could be a garden plot, a magazine, a piece of clothing, or whatever. You can, and including a player, you can just throw it right in. If the inventory slots, like how much it takes up in inventory, if it's within bounds or whatever the default setting may be, if it's not defined, it will go in.
So do you think the exploit? Do you think the exploit issue or the exploit patch is going to kind of restrict what they can do then? Maybe if it
fingers crossed, because as much as I've got to say it, unpopular opinion, but I've got to admire their creativity for working this out. But it just ruins the game. It really does. But yeah,
I wonder, is this one of the reasons why they haven't like shared more files with the console players yet? Like, is it an actual console restriction, or are they just worried that if they give the init.c file to the console players, for example, that they might just go crazy?
Back in like January of 2019, because I was running a sizable server on PlayStation back then. You're gonna laugh at me, but the name of the server was actually called Booty Clap, because I thought it would be funny to see on the server page. It just blew up in my face, and I'm like, oh, now I'm responsible for this cesspool. So, but anyway, the mission files were going to come out, and they told us this. So I actually got DayZ on PC at the time to study the mission files, and then when I found out we didn't get it in init.c, I was like, hold on a minute, what the hell? So I had to figure out how to do all this other stuff in really janky ways that PC modders would never have to do. That's what I mean. They should have init.c. Are they going to get it? No, they're not going to get it. Sony won't allow it. It's not going to happen. It's been asked for years. It's pretty clear. But that's why they give us the gameplay, or the CFG gameplay.json, is just to throw them a bone and give them some kind of power to spawn in.
And why is Sony being so difficult? Because it seems like Sony
they always have been. Always have been. It's just their thing.
I don't know.
Right.
They're better than Nintendo, but they've always been very anal like that about.
Yeah, because it seems like with Xbox are like, yeah, do what you like, and then Sony are like, no, they kind of ruin it with an iron fist.
Xbox within reason. Yeah. Within reason.
Like, for example, Reforger. You can get Reforger on Xbox, and you can download and run the exact same mods that are being ran on PC, crossplay even. But no Sony player, no PlayStation players on Reforger. So there's a reason for it. It's a shift, but it's Sony that's really holding them back with that type of stuff. It's a pain. There's also some things with init.c that you can put in there that would probably piss off Microsoft too. It's a powerful file. And opening up that scripting door can cause a lot of issues. It can do a lot of things that you probably don't want to do.
Yeah, I can see that. It's interesting. The console side of things, I don't really know much about how it works, but I obviously have a lot of people that ask about it. And it's always just, I can see how they're frustrated, by not having this, or maybe the game doesn't run well, or they can't customize stuff. But it's, a lot of people I think blame the devs, but it does seem to be kind of like Microsoft and Sony as well are just, they have rules in place, and you must stick to those rules if you want your game on their service.
It's like they've seen in Jurassic Park. Console modders find a way. They will find a way.
Yeah, we're seeing that already, aren't we? Like, but
Yeah.
I'm excited for the wipe. So it seems like a full wipe on console and then a player wipe on PC. It would have been kind of nice if they'd just done a full wipe on PC as well, player and servers, just to kind of fresh start with everything. But they might change their mind. But again, a character wipe would be nice at least.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? That's all.
When did they do a server wipe last? It was.
Oh, I mean, character wipe's been a while, hasn't it?
Oh yeah. It's been a long time for a character wipe. Yeah.
Amazing Yacht. I just shared a Discord for AUNZ players that has a lot of local servers listed because, I feel your pain, mate. All these servers that we see in all these videos, they're all in the EU. US isn't as bad, but it's still generally high, mid to high 200s or 300s. Anything in the EU, we're looking at 400-ish. It's just insane for us to try to play on these servers. So that's a good Discord that might help you with finding some stuff. But either way, I'm happy with where they're going. Still some good progress, and as to be expected, the majority of the work at the moment is around getting DayZ ready for the Frostline DLC, which I'm excited for. We talked about it last week, so if you want to hear more about our opinions on that, with King Alex was our guest last week. Go back and check out that episode.
Also, can I just quickly mention about the wipe next week? There is no specific date as of yet, but they will update us close to the time. I will link that tweet as well, just so people are aware.
Yep. Okay, now I want to do a quick Humble Bundle shill. I've actually got one of my favorite games for those who like these strategy style games. There's a really good bundle on sale at the moment on Humble Bundle, and it is a game called Tropico. And it is an absolute laugh. You basically play a dictator of a island sort of nation, and it's just... I haven't played the latest one, Tropico 6, but if you're into those sort of strategy games, where it's a people management and you're fighting against rebels and all the rest of it, and it's a fun game, definitely worth checking out. And as always, we've got our Humble Bundle link that any purchases you make using this link will go towards helping support the 87A community and the things we do to help support the DayZ community. So bear that in mind, folks. Cobra.
Spotlight.
Yes.
Okay, this week, my favourite video this week is one of our old-time well-known individuals, Bab. He's put himself out in a video with dozing, and it's actually a really good video. It's quite entertaining, actually. I know you've watched it as well, Marks.
Yep.
I always like Bab. Now, I mean, for me, I think he was on this time last year. I think he was on only about 70,000. He's got himself up to 83,000 subs on YouTube right now, and well deserved, by the way, well deserved. Anyway, on this little adventure, the pair of them head over to Deer Isle. It's a very different server. There's some massive bases, as you can see on here at the moment. I like the way he's done his cinematics. He normally does a good job there. And all right, there's quite a bit of PvP in this one for him, but it's a very interesting storyline. Thumbnail's good. A lot of people have watched it, so that's going to be in my spotlight this week. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's very entertaining. They're getting some really good fights as well.
There's some really cool actors.
And you said he's in this one with Dozing Chopper?
Yeah, they've done a duo.
That guy's a PvP freak. As he should be, being a former PUBG professional player. But yeah. They've done a really good job together on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So go take a little look at that. At the moment, I think it's sitting on something like 20,000 views. It's only 24 hours old, which is going to be shooting up over the next day or two. That'll be on 40 or 50 in about 2 days from now, which is great. There's some really good feedback on it. I enjoyed it. Mark's enjoyed it. Go and take a look at it.
Yep, it's very good.
Awesome. Now we've got our quick 60-second community spotlight. Thanks to the independent DayZ calendar and iRoadie, we have the Frontlines by Ariana and Chimney Live. This is an invite-only event. The Chernobyl and Livonia Defence Forces event is a 2-day competition in Chernobyl and Livonia. Each team of up to 25 players will participate in a 5-hour event daily. More information in the Discord. It's going to be split into 2 phases. And it's this weekend, Saturday the 10th and the 11th of August. Ariana runs good events, folks. So definitely go and check this one out, see who is playing it. And yeah, attackers are going to be equipped with choppers and there's Humvees. So it looks like a bit more of a technical sort of battle as opposed to just a bunch of people running around and blasting each other. So could be a lot of fun, that one, folks. Make sure you check it out. Information in the Discord, as well as a link to the DayZ Independent Calendar Discord as well. And this is for everyone. Rhodey is awesome. He's collating as much of it, but he's only one person. We're only one show. If you know of a community that's running an event, get the information and post it in there and we'll shout it out as well. That's why we've got this segment. It's why we do this show, is to spread the news about what's going on in the DayZ community. And that's not just about the drama, but also about the good stuff. These events that a lot of people put on to entertain us. Are you not entertained?
Gladiator, mate.
Hey. I'm dropping all the lines and you guys are coming through for me. Marks, you've still got to go watch fucking Zulu, mate. You have to watch it. Seriously. No. Seriously, don't even think about it. It is one of the best. I break that movie out at least once a year along with Black Hawk Down and a few of the other classics. Glory is another one of my favorites. Glory is an awesome movie as well.
That is a good one.
Okay. We've got the Lid Hosting. Don't forget, we do have a partnership with Lid Hosting, folks. I don't think anyone has bought a server using our link, but we're still raising awareness for them. If you're looking to start a server, I can't recommend anyone other than Lid Hosting unless you know the basics of how to set up a Deddy yourself. If you just want to test it out cheap and see whether your idea has any merit, if you're in the EU, look no further than Lid Hosting, folks. It's a great way. They just do the shared Deddies and all the rest of it. And if you do decide that your server is kicking off and you then need to go to a Deddy, they do full support for helping you transition to another provider who offers that Deddy support. But an amazing provider, and he's just a good egg as well. He's a modder who understands DayZ, so you can't go wrong with testing them out. They've got a comparison tools, everything in there, so you can see what it's like and what services they offer.
Yeah, quite good as well. I just add, my server currently is using their server host, and it's great. Good performance, good connection.
Did you use our affiliate link?
No, I didn't buy it.
You fucking piece of shit. Miserable Irish git.
If I bought it, I would have, but I didn't buy it.
Christ almighty. How am I meant to get other people to use our links when you won't even use it, you miserable git? Fuck me.
Because I got it for free.
I know. Okay. We have a DayZ Wiki Quickie, which I've already got up on the website. You don't like that name, Cobra?
Oh, mate. That's just awful, mate. That is fucking hell. Anyway, carry on. Okay. Fucking hell.
You love it. You love it.
You've had your ass out on the fucking show, mate. You've had your belly out on the fucking show. You bring out some mortar around fucking... Well, in fact, it's not a mortar round. It's a fucking box for a mortar. And now we're on the old quickies. Fuck me.
That's called a show.
Yeah.
We're more than just a DayZ podcast, folks. We're a soft porn channel. A question: what Far East Russian peninsula is Sarkle inspired by? You've got 4 options. Don't say the answers. Get in there and vote, folks. The Yamal Peninsula, the Tanau Peninsula, the Kamchatka Peninsula, or the Sharkey Peninsula. We will review this question next week and also have up the next week's episode as well. Again, to try to keep the hype going for Sarkle and the Frostline, we are trying to focus a lot of the questions around that coming up in the future. So, yeah, I'm all good for a quickie. Where's my girlfriend? Hey, bada boom, bada bing.
Michael's all over it.
We're still getting demonetized.
Yeah, we are. I think even the showing of the ammunition was probably too much for.
So I should just go whole ass and pull out like the actual.
Yeah, mate.
Pull them up.
We watch Boyd and shit himself.
We'll see you next week.
See that fucking Mosen out. Go on.
Oh, I love it. Love it. I'm open for a quickie. I like it when you talk with your hands. So hot, Boydie. Oh, look at the DMs I'm getting. Oh, geez, my missus would kill me if she saw that.
I have a feeling I know who sent you that.
You do. Yeah. You know exactly. The last time, actually 2 weeks ago, I think I said something about, if you're in for the kinky shit, send me a DM. Same person. I'm here for the kinky shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking facility BJJ. I love that guy, man. He's brilliant. I love my edgelord, so and he's definitely an edgelord. So yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pretty much done for the week. We will do our individual spotlights. We'll start with you, Marks. What would you like to shout out, mate? Anything or whatever you want.
I actually have something this week, and it's probably not basically, but I want to give it to the devs for the stream they did, because usually those dev streams can be a bit clunky sometimes, you know what I mean? Adam's either on the brink of death or they might not get to showcase everything off, but this stream was perfect. They showed off everything. They had everything laid out. They were able to just do everything brilliantly, and it was a really good stream, and they knocked it out of the park this time, and it was a good one.
Thank you so much for the donation there, Yacht. Thanks for all the valuable information you provide to the community. It's what we try to do. Sometimes we talk shit. Sometimes we're wrong, but that's why we have a number of us and just some awesome people in chat like Orcs messaging me and Always Streams and Scale Speeder and that. Usually what we don't know, they do. And that's the whole purpose of what we do this show for, is to spread the love. JD, what would you like to shout out, mate? Anything you want.
I'm going to write on Marks. The devs have done an outstanding job. I know they've been busy. The ones that I know personally, I haven't really heard from in the past couple of weeks, because I know they're busting ass, and I know they're kicking ass at the same time. So to see that coming out of the studio, it's reassuring.
Yeah.
Yep.
It really is.
There it goes. Just popped up on the screen then. Cobra, what would you like to shout out, mate?
Well, mine is a lot more serious than all of this DayZ stuff.
Kind of figured it would be.
Yeah. So I think most of you around the world know what's happened in the UK over the last week and a half.
Very sad.
It's not a shout out of such, but just awareness. I think it says something whenever your country that has been safe for years to walk down the street suddenly has 3 children murdered. At Southport down in the UK. Yeah, do you know what? I've not seen anything in my lifetime in the UK like the scale of what's happening right now. And it's an interesting time. It's a very strange time to be around this place. Does bring up many discussions around illegal entry and things like this. But all I'll say is right now that that kind of hit me this week, and I think that's just, I don't even know what to say about it really. It's just out there for everyone to have a look at. We always bring up some important bits and pieces and discussions every now and then, and this is one of those. I think there's going to be a lot of change and a lot of difficult times ahead for the world, and this has probably started something off that's going to be with us for a while. So I just wanted to put that out there today, that it's something I've never seen before, and it's quite horrific, really. What do you do? What does that say about us? 3 children stabbed to death. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's the terrible part. Like, you guys have had some terrible stuff there. I remember that poor British soldier who got beheaded in the streets. Rigby. And those lovely, brave ladies who went over. I think he was already gone by that stage, but risked their own lives to at least be there with him when he was left laying in the streets like a hunk of meat, which is absolutely disgusting. But try to keep you cool as well, people. Always take a deep breath and step back and try to think. We've seen some terrible reactions coming from this, and I understand why. I saw someone in chat there say it's like that in Canada. Here in Australia, we had just around the corner from me, probably a 5-minute drive. We had an old lady killed by a bunch of non-normal Australians, and she was murdered in front of her granddaughter for a car, and it was a shitty little Kia hatchback. She was stabbed and killed in a shopping centre. But, everyone sat there and went, bloody immigrants and all the rest of it. Well, guess who the doctor was who tried to save her life while she was still alive? An immigrant from the same continent as these people. So don't bundle them all in together. But
Absolutely.
like Cobra said, there definitely are some talks that need to happen because things are just going absolutely batshit insane. But there is one good thing out of all of this, folks. The memes. The memes are off the chart at the moment. And no matter
That's
what, I'm always here for the memes. I know some people can't handle that, but I am, and I will die on this hill. Anything is funny in the right context. And I see Cobra try to hold back a bit of a smile there because there's some funny shit out there if you know where to look. It's fucked up. It's some really fucked up shit out there, but just remember, at the end of the day, we all bleed red. And as bad as things are getting, we've still got electricity. We've still got the power. You've still got your stupid DayZ podcast each week. So, try not to go too far down the doom tube. I'm very bad for that. And look into it. Even this stuff with the Olympics. There's stuff that's happening there. Everyone jumped on and said the T word, and well, no, it wasn't. Said it was a biological male. Well, you were kind of correct, but there was a lot more complexity to the situation. So you just got to step back.
Slow clap for that Turkish shooter, just hand in his pocket, memes coming out like cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He's just out there.
Everyone else has got the Terminator bloody overhead glasses and earmuffs, and this guy rocks up with a durry hanging out his mouth and just
all that business awesome. As an American, it resonates with me. It's a crazy world out here. People over the course of history just kind of suck. You can't predict people. That's why we wear our seatbelt. You just can't predict what people are going to do. You can't predict what's going to happen. Yep. And I agree. Like the state, where are we? It just sucks. It's a shit sandwich with no bread. Yeah. And that's like even yesterday, I got a wife, 2.5-year-old daughter, another one on the way, due first week of November. And it's like we went to the grocery store yesterday, and I still felt the need to carry my handgun because I can't even go to the grocery store in peace without trusting my fellow man, and that's it's horrible. But the world's been that messed up for thousands of years, thanks to the internet and everything else. We're just now finding out about it. I just messaged Mark yesterday that anyone with a few brain cells knows about the troubles and how messed up Ireland is with the divide between the North and the South, or the Northern Ireland, which is under the UK, and the Republic of Ireland. And there's been two occasions in the last 25 years that have got peace to come. One was 9/11, when the IRA kind of said, yeah, we don't want to be associated with those guys. Everyone says we're terrorists. If that's terrorism, we don't want to be associated with it. And then things start flaring up again. And I just sent him a video showing the tricolour flag, and I think it was is it the St. George's Cross? And in the background, there's a Union Jack marching side by side because of the issues that they're having there as well.
The Catholics and the Protestants marching side by side, which
arm in arm.
Usually they're shooting at each other, but
you don't see that, do you, Marks? People don't realize just how messed up Ireland still is, but you don't see that.
No, it's
I thought Appalachia was crazy, man. Like here in Tennessee, I thought there was some crazy motherfuckers out here. And then I started hearing an Irishman talk about Ireland. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Even to this day, it's still fairly like up there at the moment. I think there's riots and everything as well, so it's not a safe place to be. But
they still burn. I just watched a video where they burn some big monument every year or something that's aimed at the English or something like that.
No, that's aimed at us. That they do up there. So I won't get into that because we'll get banned.
We burn shit aimed at the English too. It's just on the 4th of July.
Never should have let you guys get your independence. Fucking that was the
man.
Yeah, look, the only reason they did was because they had a bigger fish to fry, so they thought in the French. And they're like, they're too much hard work, these Americans. They won't stand in a line and wear bright red uniforms like us. They run off into the bushes and they wear clothing that blends in. How barbarian of them. Too hard to fight.
Now I'm just sitting around a computer desk,
Mm-hmm.
surrounded by firearms.
Hey,
So,
my boy's got a gun safe right behind me. So, contrary to popular opinion, we do get to own guns in Australia, ladies and gentlemen. And we're also pretty handy with a milk crate. The UK, a bit of a narwhal tusk. I've heard that's their weapon of choice, is the narwhal tusk. Still one of the most badass things ever.
Yeah.
I've got a pocket knife. That's about it.
But ladies and gentlemen, we are done. South Africa. That's just a whole different kettle of fish.
By the way, shameless plug, in the JD Jungle Chernarus mod, there is Rhodesian camo booty shorts.
Yep, we
Rhodesian
just got
camo with
demonetized.
FAL.
We just
There
got
you go.
demonetized. I don't think you're allowed to mention that. That's another one of the R words on YouTube, isn't it?
Is it really?
I don't think so.
No
but
idea.
I don't know. I thought people were just down with this camo pattern. Like,
I have a mate who is from there, and he had a tattoo on his back of a soldier holding the Rhodesian flag. And he's obviously from there, and he said whenever he went home to visit family, he just couldn't take his shirt off in public. But yeah, so
I always remember the blood diamond scene with Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm Rhodesian, you know.
yeah. But no, ladies and gentlemen, we are done for this week, because that was pretty much going to be my point as well, Cobra, just to talk about that. Keep cool, people, but yeah, take care of yourselves. There's a lot of crazy shit going on at the moment, and a lot of brutality, and it's just insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
Rhodesian brushstroke. Yeah, it's a badass camo. It really is a badass camo.
It is, and I got it on the FAL too. Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah. Quick check, make sure we've done everything for this week. Yes, we have. Next week's guest, ladies and gentlemen, it's a return of the OG community server, the first ever that is still around. Anyone know which server I'm talking about?
Oh, what's the
Now
one
you
you
gotta
always
tell us.
mention? Oh, Christ. I can't remember.
DayZ Underground.
Yes, that's it.
Yep. So we've got Legit Pop and the team coming on. And the topic that we are talking about in the chat for their episode is regarding the Hero and Bandit skin. There was a post I saw a while back about karma in DayZ. And if anyone remembers the old DayZ mod, you killed enough people, you got the bandit skin. If you helped enough people, you got the hero skin, which was a forced thing, which I'm not a huge fan of. But the concept I do like, because, word spreads in an IRL situation. You get to know who the bad guys are in your area and all the rest of it. But in DayZ, being a game, it's a little bit funny, but wanted to see how Doug have addressed that issue, because they're a bit of an organic role play server, and what people's thoughts are on it as well. As part of that, I'm going to give you all something to watch. This is a classic video from back in the day. One of the guys in it got cancelled for being a not so nice guy, created by the name of Boy in a Band. But he's worked with a lot of big names, and him and a fellow by the name of Jack Frags made a DayZ rap battle, Hero versus Bandit, which is actually quite funny. And for those of you who are newer to DayZ, you've probably never seen it before, but this is a first-class video production. They even dressed up for it, had some gameplay in the background, and it's a really, really good little song. So, yeah, all the best, everyone, and we will see you next week, same time, same channel, as always, for the DayZ Podcast. Ciao for now.
See you later.
Nope, he's gone. Wait for it to finish.